Is our food supply deliberately under attack, or are we just having a really bad run of luck right now? Hello and welcome to Sweet Home California. My name is Jennifer, and I've reported before on a string of suspicious fires that had been plaguing our food distribution centers and even our food pantries. And now it's actually the food itself. So we've had thousands of pounds of ground beef that have been recalled because of E. coli worries. The FDA tests our food, and that's why our food system is one of the safest in the world. You don't hear too much about people dying from our food because we have these tests at the source. And so I'm certainly not going to cast any doubt on the veracity of the tests, because it does keep us safe. And these are things that we need to take seriously so that we don't have people dying from bad food. But anyhow, thousands of pounds, it's been announced, of ground beef have been recalled. Perhaps it was even millions. I have to go back to the article. But anyhow, I will put links down in the description because I do want you to know the truth. And I heard today from Economic Ninja was interviewing a gentleman from Financial Fitness and told some additional information. So I had heard about the recall on the ground beef. I had also heard about the horrible outbreak of the avian flu that has been resulting in millions of chickens and turkeys being killed. Again, this is to help prevent the spread. And I know that I've heard from people saying that this is all made up, this is ridiculous. But then I have also heard from trusted YouTubers that raise chickens themselves and have gone through this process and have experienced the government coming in and euthanizing. They call it culling their flock. Basically, it just they kill them all, because this particular strain of virus can lay dormant for months. In fact, he was told not even to use his tractor for 150 days because of the risk of it spreading that disease even after the vectors, the birds, have been destroyed. Apparently, it doesn't affect ducks so much. So ducks and the natural migration of geese and ducks and other birds can spread it to your chickens, and the chickens is where it shows up and they die. And so he had hundreds of his chickens just die, and so of course he reported it, and they determined, yes, this is the bad avian flu, and we need to destroy. Now, the farmers do get some compensation, but it doesn't replace everything that's lost. Also, even more importantly, is that food, those chickens are taken out of our food supply, and that's only going to hurt the entire food supply when you have that many birds being taken out. And even if you're a vegetarian, well, you know what? This affects everyone when this happens. He did have some good advice for people who are raising their own chickens. Keep them under cover. Practice sanitary procedures. So if you have a pair of boots that you're walking around the yard where migratory birds can be pooping, don't use those same boots going into among your chickens, and keep those chickens under cover. And that'll help prevent the spread of this. But so we've got ground beef, we've got chicken and turkey. Now we've got trout. So this is something that I hadn't heard about, that apparently there is a disease going on in fisheries. So apparently all this fish that you go to the lake and to the rivers and you're fishing for trout, a lot of them are grown in fisheries. And one of the fisheries was here in California, and they found a disease that they don't want to get out, of course. And so many fish are being destroyed as well. So for those of you that like fish, that's going to have a problem as well. Not just fish. Now we've also got pigs. Now, I had reported on before that California was affecting the price of pork because a new law went into effect in January where pigs had to have 24 square feet of space instead of only 14 foot of square space. And this isn't just affecting people who raise pigs in California, but anybody who wants to sell pigs to California. So throughout the United States, even overseas, if you want to sell pork in California, bacon, ham, all of that, you now have to have nearly double the space, which of course, unless you are then stacking your pig crates on top of one another, it's going to result in nearly half the amount of pigs being available. So yeah, of course, that affects the cost. But now we have another disease, some sort of encephalitis that is attacking pigs. And this was a report out of Japan. And this apparently is a known disease, but it normally is like in the northern part of Japan. And this is now seeming to spread and affecting more pigs. So I don't know exactly how many more pigs, but again, another spread affecting another species, affecting our food supply. So let me know what your thoughts are down below as to what is going on here. Is this some sort of just natural confluence of just a lot of bad luck? Or do you think maybe something more dire, something more sinister, something more planned might be behind it all? But what can you do about it? Well, make arrangements with local farmers. Even here in California, we have local farmers that sell direct to consumers. I have a number of neighbors. I'm sure you can probably hear in the background the rooster going off. And so, I've gotten some eggs, and even if they say, hey, it's just a couple dollars, I know that their feed costs are going up, and so I pay them a little bit more than that because I want to keep the eggs coming, and I want to make sure that they can continue to afford to feed their chickens and produce those eggs. Also, I had a neighbor who was raising a pig, so I got half a pig, went in with another neighbor. And I found out from that when the butcher came, that they keep a list for not only pork products but also beef. That if another farmer comes in and they don't already have a buyer for it, then you can go ahead and buy direct from them. So I got a half a cow. They called me up just a couple weeks after I put myself on the list, and I was able to go pick up half a cow. Now, it was an hour and a half drive because apparently there aren't that many butchers around. So you might have to search a little afar from where you are, but make those connections and make sure that you're on those lists. And it really wasn't a bad deal at all. It was, I paid about $4.99 a pound for hanging weight on that side of beef. Now that included, of course, the weight of the bone and other things, whatever that isn't edible. But when I got it, I think I factored in, I got about 74 pounds of ground beef. And I know what I normally pay for ground beef around here for 90% lean is going to be in like the $6 a pound range. So if I deducted that out, that for everything, I weighed everything. And I don't remember the exact numbers, but I do remember that if I accounted for $5 a pound for my ground beef, then it made the rest of that being steak and stew meat and tri-tip, all those things that now can be, $20, $24 a pound. It brought all of that other stuff to price around $12.99, about $12, $13 a pound for all these other different steaks, factoring in ground beef at being about $6. So just to give you an idea. And as to how much space it took up in the freezer, it took up about 2.5 full shelves in a 21 cubic foot freezer. So it took up a lot of space. But it's doable. Go out there on Marketplace. I know freezers are really expensive right now to buy one new. But there are people who move and there are people who want to upgrade and they still have a good working freezer. Go out there and see what you can find that can save you some money. Also, look into making that shelf stable as well. I am canning some of that stuff so that I don't have all my eggs in that one basket. But I do have a generator that would get me, by in case we did have a bit of a power outage. So I want to protect that investment because now I've got, like $2,000, $2,500 worth of food in my freezer. I want to make sure that it's protected. So I do have a generator. I am canning some of that so that it's going to be shelf stable. So that sort of thing. I know this is going a little long. But just some other ideas also is means of production. I talked about that before. How do you pay for your preps? Well, one of the things I do is a side hustle. In addition to, my husband has a full-time job. I make signs, and I make these jar canisters that I am so thankful that another YouTuber did a review on the other day, and now I am crazy busy with orders on those. So I've kind of stopped all advertising on my Etsy store for everything else, so I can get caught up on that. If you ordered one of those, I plan on getting a good percentage of them out before I leave for my daughter's graduation. She's graduating from Liberty University next week, so I'm really proud of her. So I am going to get a whole bunch out then, but I have said that it's probably going to take me 3 to 4 weeks to get caught up on everything. So I apologize if you are one of the ones that have ordered, but I did, when you ordered, you should have been told, how long it's going to take. So it may not take that long because I am getting my processes down, and things are going pretty well here, but I am going to be gone for about a week to go participate in her graduation. Other things that you could do, so anyhow, means of production. If you've got any sort of trade skill, whatever, or vocation, hobby that you'd like to do, sewing, woodworking, that sort of thing, go buy that sewing machine. Get a spare one in case that one breaks down. If you're a woodworker, buy some hand tools, buy some power tools, get those blades. If look for great deals like what I have behind me here. This is corian, and with the corian I make trays, and I make memorial plaques because it's weatherproof, it's water resistant, it's UV resistant. It can be used as cutting boards, but this stuff is really expensive. It was used originally, it was developed to be countertops for kitchens and bathrooms and things like that. But to buy it new, it's it could be like $1,000 a sheet. It's crazy expensive. But I found that you get a lot of scrap from it. So you cut, you're doing a countertop install. You're going to have maybe a few feet left over from that. You're going to cut out the sink. You'll have that. That's extra. And so I started looking around at cabinet makers and countertop installers and finding out if they ever installed corian and if they had any scrap. And then I would look at buying that, get that off their hands. It solves a problem for them, keeps things out of the landfill, and I'm able to offer better prices to my customers because I'm not paying $1,000 for a sheet of corian. I'm paying pennies on the dollar. But this is stuff that wasn't good for the cabinet maker anymore. Didn't want to put it in landfill. It's really heavy. But the good thing is that because it is water resistant and everything, I can have it out here outside and not take up any inside space. So just some ideas I hope that you may find useful to help with your prepping, because prepping is not cheap. You do need to save up for it. Please do not go into debt for this, because anything that you're going to be putting on a credit card or a home equity line of credit, all those interest rates are just doing nothing but going up. Anyhow, God bless. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What are your ideas for saving money or making money in regards to prepping? And anyhow, God bless. Do not be afraid. God has all this under control, but we do need to help because He wants our cooperation in this. So make sure you're cooperating and you're part of the solution and not part of the problem. I'll talk to you next time. God bless. Bye.